the key veteran guys here. What's the mood of the team knowing everything on the line tomorrow?
Just a lot of excitement in here. Everybody's ready to go. A couple days in between games, so the anxiousness is starting to build.
How important was the rest, just knowing how many guys, including yourself, a little banged up?
Yeah, rest is always good to have a little bit, so if there's anybody feeling sick or a little banged up, have that time to get a little bit better.
What'd you learn, one last one, just what'd you learn about the first matchup with Canada and how you might have to, what adjustments you want to make going into the final?
Yeah, it's just going to be a tight checking game. It's obviously very high intensity, so we're going to have to bring the same intensity we brought last game.
When you reflect on that game against Canada and the level of play, how would you compare it to any game you've played before?
I don't think it's very comparable, to be honest with you. I think it's probably the most skilled, highest intensity, just best game I've ever been a part of.
As a hockey player, just how rewarding is it to get to play in this kind of a game again with now the finals on the line?
Just being here in general is obviously a huge honor, and to be able to play for your country and to be able to play against Canada in the final game is just something that everybody in here dreams of as a kid.
Vincent, a lot of players on both sides have called this game the biggest of their lives. Kind of a simple question, but why do you think that is?
Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. Team USA versus Team Canada in a best-on-best tournament. After playing against each other in the round robin and seeing the intensity of that game, this is as good as it gets.
When you reflect on the Canadian squad and just players like Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, how elite are they in terms of what you're going to have to do to shut them down too? Obviously, you guys are really good too.
Yeah, they're special. They're obviously extremely talented. Everybody on that team, really, but they have a few guys that have tremendous skill and talent, and it's obviously a tall task to try to shut them down, but we're up to the task, and we're going to have to if we want to win.
What have you learned about Austin Matthews being his teammate that you didn't know being his opponent?
I actually was able to play with Amats back in the World Cup in 2016. Saw him, that was his first year. Actually before his first year, and got to know him a little bit then, but throughout the years I've crossed paths with him a few times, and always one of the harder workers in the room, and obviously a tremendous talent, but just a very good person off the ice as well.
How would you describe his leadership style for you guys in this tournament?
He leads by example. He's, like I said, one of those guys that goes out to practice and is one of the hardest workers out there, and he pays very close attention to detail, and I think he's a good guy that, as a teammate to look up to and to kind of try to model your professionalism.
Well, I think we've done a good job of keeping it day to day and worrying about our daily task, and we have one game to win, and that's why we came, is to win, and we're playing against a rival, and we wouldn't want it any other way. I'm not going to get into the specifics, but.
Try to talk about this is the biggest game of my life. Is this the biggest game of your life?
Certainly one of them. I've played in, other than in some, a handful of Game 7s, a couple gold medal games when I was younger, but this one is on a bigger magnitude than those. And it certainly could be definitely one of a handful for sure.
So, but you don't prepare any differently, do you, or you do?
No, I just think all those other moments help you prepare for this. Maybe not as jittery and anxious and nervous, and I feel better going into this game than I have in all the other ones, in a sense of calmness and knowing what I need to bring, and no real gray area, and just trying to bring that and bring what I'm capable of, for my teammates, and bring my game, not anybody else's game. So, listen, it's going to be an emotional, intense game, but I think once we settle in, get a couple hits, and settle into the game, I think I would feel like try to win one game.
JT, reflecting on that level of play against Canada on Saturday night, just how would you compare it to any other game you've played in?
I really can't, to be honest with you, just on the magnitude of it. In the Bell Center, I think for being the away team, I think that just part of the game plan is like we're on in their territory, and you have to set the tone. If you let those guys come out, McDavid flying around to start the game, McKinnon flying around, that could become a contagious and infectious thing in that building. So I just think that, last game was such a unique start because we knew we have to set the tone in a game and have our presence in the game. It's different this time around, but in the sense of intensity, that won't change.
In the sense of skill, though, like you've played in playoffs and NHL. Like, how did the skill level compare to any other game you've played in? Was it that much higher?
Oh yeah, I played in that Team North America in that World Cup, and we were playing against similar teams, but I think it's the teams now are better, and the players are better, and there's so many different guys to choose from. In that sense, I've never played in a game with more skill more talent on the ice. So we feel super lucky to be a part of it.
Given the circumstances, do you find another one? That you just up it, given the talent you're surrounded by, but even who you're lining up against.
Yeah, another level of skill, or
just another mental level. Any
yeah, for sure. If you're not ready, they're gonna make you look silly. So it's you have every reason in the world to be ready to go for this game, and this is something we should all take a lot of pride in, and I know both teams are, and representing your country in a championship game. So you couldn't ask for a better situation.
J.T, last game against Team Canada, Jacob Slavin and Brock Faber were playing more than 25 minutes. Why are they so good to defend?
They're just like a thorn in the side. Their sticks are so good. Their physicality is, well timed, and just from playing against them on their regular clubs all year, it's a pain in the butt to play against. Those are guys that are recognizable as some of the hardest guys in the league to play against on defense, and I think that's a really good quality to have.
We know the importance. I think this whole tournament. Even from the start, you felt that intensity, and I think some of that stuff starts to kick in a little more tomorrow when it's the day of the game and everything. But this is probably the most jacked up I've been for a game. So ready to get it going for sure.
Has the experience been different than you thought it was going to be? I don't think any of us really knew what it was going to be like.
I think you don't really know what to expect. I think one thing we knew was the intensity would be there. I think from the outside perspective, it thought maybe it'd be lacking, but I think anytime, like we talked about, you get to throw on the USA sweater, for any of the guys throw on your country sweater, you wear that with a lot of pride. So the intensity's there, but yeah, it's my first time playing with everyone on the ice is the best player on their team, or first line guy and everything like that. So it's been good. It's been fun to be on the same team with a lot of these guys as well and see the skill. So again, there was no real, expectation of what to expect, but it's been really good so far.
Does it make you think about the possibilities moving forward? You're a young guy and you think, okay, Italy next year, 2 years World Cup, 2 years after that the Olympics. Just the potential for these kinds of moments now on a regular basis.
Yeah, it's exciting. I think you come here, you just want to play well here and help the team. I think it's obviously exciting for all the future of what they want with the international games and everything like that. But I think this group is a relatively young group too, and hopefully could be together and have a lot of success.
Adam, when you look at having these 2 days off here before the game, obviously you guys are some guys are dealing with some back injuries. How important was it to have those extra 2 days off?
Yeah, I think you look at it now like it's obviously good for us, for guys to heal up and be ready to go, but I think just get a chance to mentally reset and maybe work out some kinks in practice too to be ready for the game tomorrow.
You mentioned it a little before, just the build up and the excitement for tomorrow. Do you expect tomorrow night's game to match physically, emotionally what you went through on Saturday in the first game against them?
Yeah, of course. I think like we've said, it might not be fights from the start and everything like that, but the intensity will be just as high, and maybe even higher with obviously the gold medal game on the line and everything like that. But you throw USA and Canada in a game, it's going to be high intensity, and I think that's what we're expecting to do tomorrow, is come out there with a lot of intensity and lay it all on the line.
And then lastly, when you look back on your career up to this point, where does this game rank for you?
It's up there. It's obviously only really playoffs would be comparable, right? But you get the first opportunity in a while to win a gold medal and best on best. That's got to be the biggest game I've been a part of. So it'll be fun. It'll be exciting. I think we're just ready to get it going.
Adam, now that you guys have seen a tournament like this and experienced this, how can you reasonably go back to an All-Star game, or would you like to see something like this going forward?
Yeah, I think I mentioned a little the other day. This stuff is great for us, and we love to any chance to represent the U.S. I think obviously All-Star games, for the fans, it's nice and a bit interactive, and them to see a little more of a looser environment. And obviously this is real intense in the middle of the season. But I think anytime, like I said, we could throw on that USA sweater and represent our country and best on best, we're going to be doing that as much as we can.